Hello, my name is Luis Pilla, and I'm going to present you about factors that make listening difficult. How you can see in this slide shows why listening feels overwhelming for many learners. When we listen to English, information comes too fast and from many sources at the same time. Unlike reading, listening doesn't allow us to pause and reread or control the speed. The listener must understand sounds, meaning, and context instantly. Distractions can come from the environment, such as noise or visual interruptions, but they can also come from our own mind, like stress or lack of concentration. Because of this overload or information, the brain struggles to process everything efficiently. This is why listening becomes difficult, even for students who know vocabulary and grammar. Continue, in the next slide, we have external listening barriers. External listening barriers come from the environment around listeners. These include noise, how you can see, the noise. The person speaking when a lot of people is picking the physical settings and the visual distractions and objects. For example, background noise, uncomfortable classroom, or people talking nearly can easily interrupt the listener attention. Sometimes the speaker voice, accent, speed, or gestures can also distract the listener. Even small objects like phones, pens, or movement in the room can break concentration. These factors affect listening because they pull the listener attention away from the message. However, external barriers are usually easier to control or reduce by changing the environment, moving to a quiet place, or eliminating distractions. To continue, we have internal listening barriers. Internal listening barriers come from the listener's mind. This includes anxiety, how you can see, the self-centeredness, cognitive dissonance, boredom, boredom, sense of superiority, mental laziness, and impatience. Passion. For example, a listener may feel anxious about understanding correctly or bored if the topic doesn't seem interesting. Sometimes listeners becomes impatient when the speaker talks too slowly, or they believe they already know the information and stop paying attention. These barriers are harder to manage because they require self-awareness and discipline. If listeners don't control these internal factors, effective listening becomes difficult, even in a quiet environment. And that's all to my participation. In conclusion, listening is difficult because it's affected by both external and internal barriers. Understanding these factors helps learners become more effective and confident listeners. Thank you. That's all.